right?
Cain and Abel, right?
Yeah.
Cain got jealous of Abel.
That's right.
Took a rock.
That's right.
Beat him in the head. Yeah.
Yeah. And Goliath was taken down with a stone.
Right.
Right.
So guns are just really cool stones.
They really are. It's just advanced stones.
Yes, advanced. Hey there, New Gun Nation. My name is Troy, and this past year, my wife Amy and I joined the ranks of 8.4 million people that bought their first firearm. Yeah, you heard me right. Over 8 million Americans bought their first gun in 2020. We didn't get into shooting just because of the craziness in the world. See, Amy and I were looking for something to do together as a couple, and boy, did we find it. Guns have gotten a bad rap, but in the hands of law-abiding citizens, they can be fun and empowering. I'm stoked you're joining us on this journey as we grow together in the New Gun Nation. Hey there, New Gun Nation. My name is Troy, and this is my friend Charles Davis. Man, I'm super pumped that you're here. You are a manufacturer, builder of guns. You have a shop.
Yes.
It's called Battle Creek Armory.
Yep.
Fun fact, I was at my mechanic shop, and I did a search for gun shops.
Yeah.
And on my little map app, it said 300 yards. So my car was getting worked on. I got up and walked over, and I didn't know anything about what you did. I just knew that you were a gun shop.
Right.
And you were very cool because you had a lot of people. You had a lot of stuff going on. I, at that time, was looking for a shotgun. And you said, well, I have a couple shotguns, but really what I do is ARs.
Right.
So the AR-15 has been being made for a long time. I mean, it started, I think the Wikipedia thing I saw was like late 50s even that they developed it. And then it was sold to Colt, and they held on to it for like till 77 or something like that. And then a bunch, then everyone else was...
DPMS was pretty much the people to bring it to the commercial.
EPMS?
DPMS out of Minnesota. They were a St. Cloud-based company.
Okay.
Randy Luth owned that company. He now owns a company called Luth Arms. So he sold it to a place called the Freedom Group that was owned by Remington and several other companies. So that's kind of cool, coming from Minnesota.
Yeah.
We had a company that was really revolutionary to the AR industry. So
how did you get into guns?
When I got married, we were working different shifts, my wife and I. We felt there was a need for, if she was there alone, for her to be able to protect herself against something that, somebody who could come in or could, threaten her. So,
yeah, and that's Sarah, right?
Sarah, right.
I've met Sarah at the shop, at your shop.
Yep.
Super cool. Fun fact, our wives work together.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, in a local school district. So.
Yeah, school women who love guns. Yes. Or at least my wife, I know for sure, loves them. So she teaches and she's at the gun shop. So it's kind of a ironic thing to some people.
No, I think it fits perfectly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's talk about Battle Creek.
Yeah.
How'd you guys get started?
Just like anybody else, you buy one gun usually, and then you become an avid shooter, or you shoot more than normal, and you get into it. During the Obama administration, 9mm, kind of like right now, was really hard to get, except it wasn't as expensive as it is right now.
Sure.
But I would run around, and we didn't have any money, and I would max out the credit cards and buy ammo, and then I would go to a gun show and I would backpack that ammo, and I would resell it to kind of fund our shooting because we really couldn't afford to shoot. So.
Yeah.
But gun shows were a big thing for me. That's how I really got started.
Cool.
In the AR industry, I got started by basically building upper receivers, if you know what those are. Mm-hmm. That's the upper part of the
top part of the gun.
Correct.
Yep.
And I was on I kind of went through this Sandy Hook thing. If you had been a part of that, you would know it was just mass chaos. Guns were selling for astronomical price. A $400 gun would sell for $1,700. Okay. And magazines.
This is 2012.
Correct.
Too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the magazines that were $10 to $9 were selling for $80. Okay, because Obama was talking about 30-round mag laws and all that.
Right.
And so a lot of us that didn't have those guns or extra guns, we were like, well, wait a minute. I mean, maybe we missed the boat here. We really need to. I wanted another one. I want to know how to build it.
Right.
So there was always this thing in my back of my head of if the prices come back down, I'm going to buy parts and I'm going to learn how to build. And I actually learned how to build during that time period. That was the first lower I ever built with a community of friends.
Yep, that's the trigger. Table. The lower's the trigger.
Yep.
Where the magazine goes into.
The lower parts kit, the stock kit, and just kind of how all the parts went together.
Is that considered the fire? Like
that's a firing control group.
Okay, so that's what's serial. The
that's
serial
a
number
serialized item. Yep,
is on the bot on the lower
for right now.
Okay,
yeah.
Unless they
what they're proposing right now, you don't know,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, though, the serialized item is the lower. Yep.
Okay. And would you say the upper, a little bit more of the magic kind of happens in terms of like?
It really is. The
got
upper
the gas
makes
block,
the whole gun.
all that stuff is in there. When did you open your storefront or your shop?
I basically developed a reputation for building uppers. Is what happened. Okay. I was doing gun shows. I was building uppers in my townhouse on a 10-foot workbench that I built.
Yep.
And I would, I had the concept of, I'm going to start building stuff, and I'm going to guarantee it. I'm going to make sure that it runs. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to shoot it.
Right.
And that was kind of revolutionary. There were manufacturers doing that, but not individuals doing that.
Sure.
So I wasn't a dealer at that time. I wasn't getting great prices on things, but I just wanted to learn how to build. And if I was going to sell it, I wanted to make sure that it worked.
Right. So for you as a business owner building guns, what's been like your biggest challenge?
It's the industry in general is an up and down industry. So the challenge is competing with billion-dollar companies, high purchasers, manufacturers, because they only deal with those type of people, or at least treat those people in a different way than they treat the smaller people. Just trying to revolutionize yourself out of nothing, that's a challenge. And then, of course, you're dealing in an industry where you're selling something that's supposed to be super responsible, and now you're somehow a police officer, which you're never trained to be, to kind of, pick through who do I sell this to, who do I not sell to.
That's got to be a heavy responsibility.
It is, yep. And that's one of the downfalls of the industry is that I have to carry a gun every day, and my life's on the line every day. But I do it because I believe in it. I believe in it,
right?
100%. People who come in contact with us know by just talking to us that we love guns and that we love doing what we do, building them.
So you're a man of faith?
Absolutely.
We talked about that a little bit on the phone and all that.
What is life without faith?
Maybe a person would say, well, if you're a Christian, just pray to God and He'll protect you. And
well, live by the sword, die by the sword is very biblical. But how do you deal with that? For me, there's evil, right? There's evil. That's true. We know that. There's bad things in the world. And I believe God gives tools and gives you a brain and a resource and a knowledge to use that. And you can either stand by and be passive and believe that God will take care of everything, which we all know He can.
Right.
But you can also be proactive and know that there's things that you can do to help in those scenarios, which would be protect your immediate family right there so they don't live in fear. Those are serious choices. Those are choices that you have to make personally. I can't tell you, hey, go out and get a gun and be prepared to kill somebody.
Right.
We don't buy guns to kill people. We buy guns to protect ourselves from people that want to kill us or threaten our families. So.
I think I told you that I was like, well, we're looking for a hobby to do.
Yeah.
Like Amy and I were looking for a hobby to do. I quickly changed that after I went to my carry class.
Sure.
Because it's like, this is not a hobby.
Right.
There's way more responsibility.
There is. But it certainly can be a hobby too.
Oh yeah, you can have fun with it. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I want people to know. Yeah. It's like, just like I want people to know that an AR isn't a weapon of war.
Not at all.
Right.
Any weapon is a weapon of war. And Goliath was taken down with a stone.
Right.
Right.
So guns are just really cool stones.
They really are. It's just advanced stones.
Yes, advanced.
Yeah.
Yes, with velocity.
Yeah. 100, just like all these new cameras and everything, right?
Oh, yes.
Back in the day, it was on paper.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
So, for the New Gun Nation out there, what do they need to know about ARs?
That's a great question because there's so many people who give you the wrong answers on that question, especially politicians who know nothing about guns. What do you need to know about an AR is it's a semi-automatic rifle that is similar to a military-style gun. But they're not a military style gun because technically don't have the full capability of being that way.
Yeah.
Without having burst fire or full automatic.
That's
fire.
where you pull the trigger, just keep shooting bullets.
Just keep shooting bullets.
Right.
Correct.
So semi-automatic, you pull the trigger, you get a bullet.
Correct. It's as fast as you can pull your trigger, but that's the same way with any gun that you shoot. The great part about AR-15 that they never talk about is if you put the bullet on a table and I show you a hunting round versus a AR-15 round, you would say, without ever knowing, that you would point to the AR-15 round, the 223 or 5.56 round,
right,
and say, this looks really weak.
Right.
I don't like this one.
Because it's
and then you would show them, this is a hunting bolt action rifle.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Yeah. That's got to be from an AR.
Yeah.
It's like the gal in Congress or whatever is like, it's like 12 boxes. Just talking about how heavy they are.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah.
Or you can shoot this gun in 1 second, you can shoot 90 rounds or some stuff like that.
Yeah. That's a whole nother, you have to have a special license. It's
absolutely. And even a full auto gun doesn't shoot that fast. Okay.
Right.
So
right.
It just shows the incompetency of someone who's giving you information. And that's what it's all about. Information. Know what it is rather than hear it from somebody that doesn't know what it is, right? Don't just take my word for it, look it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get educated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of what I'm trying
to... that's what new gun ownership is about, being educated.
Okay.
Not listening to someone else. A lot of times people come into my shop and they say, hey, Charles, what should I do? No. That's cool. You were on forums all night and you were reading everybody's forums and they told you this and they told you that and that's what you're going to do. That's not going to help you. Why? Because until you get involved, till you start doing it, you're never going to know what you need and what works for you.
Right.
And that's where, when we get into the AR-15, the people that are promoting or dispromoting the gun have all these different variations of what it is.
Right. Yeah.
So find out for yourself. Find out what it is. Shoot one first before you are negative about it, because I'll tell you what, the most fun gun to shoot in the world. And your wife, your son, your daughter, there's a reason why younger people don't have a problem shooting that gun. There's not a lot of recoil, and it's a ton of fun. There's always more rounds to shoot, and very accurate. They made that gun to be very accurate. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what you want with a gun.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
You don't want to miss.
No. Not only that, but it gives you confidence, right? But for new gun owners, what they really need to know and what they really need to think about is, it's a responsible decision that you can control. And if you are not somebody who should own a gun, it's your responsibility to not own that gun. And the reality is a gun is only as bad as the person that's behind it.
Right.
Okay.
It's a tool.
It's a tool, exactly. Like a hammer, a screwdriver. And if you don't believe that, then you're hearing the wrong misconception and you're really not understanding what it is. So yeah, don't be afraid of guns. Embrace them. And if you have a problem with that, then don't buy a gun. That simple, you know.
Right.
But if you want to protect your family and you want to feel that if there was ever a situation where someone else had a gun, I mean, obviously you're more equally matched if you have a gun and they have a gun rather than if you don't have a gun, in my opinion.
Right.
So,
for sure.
If not, if you're trained, more proficient than somebody who might be a criminal who might not be proficient.
Well, that's the other side of it.
And that's why it's so important to not only just own the gun, but learn the gun, train with the gun, be thorough on what you do. You don't have to go overboard with it. Make sure your family understands gun safety, what to do with guns, how the gun works, and the people that you don't want in your family to touch the gun, make sure that those guns aren't accessible to those people. And that's why, we want to lock the guns up.
Yep.
Keep them away from kids.
Comes down to responsibility.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, man, I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Because I know you are up against it right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be praying for you.
Yeah.
And for Sarah.
Yeah.
And I'm just really appreciate you taking time.
Anytime, man. It's our pleasure, man.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Be safe, yeah.
All right.
Everybody, thanks.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, New Gun Nation.
New Gun Nation. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with somebody that could use it.
Okay, I'll do one more close.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I really appreciate your time, and I'm definitely going to be swinging by the shop.
Yeah.
Because Amy probably doesn't know this, but I'm kind of looking at maybe getting into a little something.
Well, you're not going to be able to hide it now. Yeah.
Oh, it's...
Oh, gotcha.
Shoot!
You better edit that, sorry. Okay.